Hi, this is Charles Purcell. For the next 2 episodes of Charles Purcell Presents, we offer, in 2 parts, our classic 90s radio play, The Information Age.
The Information Age. It's all we've ever known. Winston and me and a million others like us. Sure, we read newspapers, magazines, watched TV and movies, surfed the net. The Information Age was a fact of life. A fact of life. We just decided to do a little fact-checking.
You ready? Winston!
Oh, Smith, hello. Yeah, I'm ready.
You know, Winston, everybody thinks we're crazy.
Well, maybe we are, Smith. Maybe we are. Our plan was to set out by foot, in search of the legendary free flow of information. We weren't sure it existed, but if it did, we knew we were far from it. Day 1. Viewing it from the outside for the first time, the tangled structure which was our home dominates the entire landscape as far as the eye can see. A giant maze of pipes, tubes, and cables. The smallest, at least the smallest visible, just a hair's width. The largest about the circumference of a standard garden hose. Braces, brackets, supports, joints, couplings, so densely configured our feet never touch the ground. The first day passes, then the second. We continue due north, following the main shaft of the information pipeline. And then, on the 5th day... Smith, look.
Is it?
Yes, it's just as we'd hoped. It's land. Exposed, natural, sun-kissed, rain-soaked land.
By God, it is! You know, I thought the structure was becoming a bit less dense, but I was afraid it was just my optimistic imagination. Look, there's more land ahead. You can see it. My God, it's real. Winston, come on. There's more land. Come on.
Yeah. Yes, it's real. Smith, don't hurt yourself. It's not going anywhere. Day 12. With each day's travel, the overall structure of the maze continues to grow less massive. Though fewer in number, individual pipes are much larger. The deafening buzz and hum of the pipeline's flow has subsided steadily, though I still hear it in my sleep. Curiously, I hadn't perceived the incredible noise of the structure until it began to dissipate. The maze is less complex, with fewer couplings on the main north-south pipe, which maps our route. This conduit, like the others, grows wider in circumference each day, and is now just below my own height at 6 feet. At this rate, by tomorrow or the next day, I'll not be able to see over the giant tube. A disconcerting thought in this strange and barren terrain.
Winston?
What is it, Smith?
How much further do you think?
It's hard to tell. You're not losing your nerve, are you?
No, it's not that. It's just, well, I'm tired and a little bored, you know? Don't get me wrong, Winston, you're a fine fellow and good company and all that, but, you know, it's been 12 days. 12 days with no information. I don't know how much longer I can take it.
I warned you, Smith. You knew the risks when we started out. Wait, do you hear something? Oh my God, that pipe. It's about to... Smith, look out!
Oh, Winston, help me!
Poor Smith was standing right in its path. A sudden burst of information. Hang on, Smith, I won't let it carry you away!
I think it's contaminated!
As if from nowhere, a quick strike maintenance team appeared. We had seen these teams before at a distance doing routine maintenance on the pipeline, mostly at night. With lightning precision and uniform step, they set to their work. Half of the team disappeared behind a hastily constructed barricade in front of the burst pipeline. The barricade deflected the information at a harmless angle, while they, I can only assume, repaired the structure. Meanwhile, the other half of the team shone bright lights away from the incident and onto a man in a dark blue suit.
Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. In order to facilitate the most comprehensive configuration of system analysis, the controlling legal authorities will commission a study post-haste. The American people deserve a fair hearing into these matters, and we're doing everything in our power to facilitate the facilitation of the facility without public funding. And now, Donnie will dance. Donnie?
Day 15. We sometimes trip over the narrow conduits which run east and west. It's tempting to follow one of them in hopes of finding nearby shelter, sustenance, and camaraderie. But such an adventure would run the risk of permanently jeopardizing the expedition. We've made good headway, though Smith is still contaminated from the spill 3 days past.
The Holocaust never happened. Jews control Hollywood. Seinfeld scripts are coded messages to an Israeli building contractor in East Jerusalem. Ask Norm Abram. He's in on it.
Shut
what,
up!
You think these houses go up by themselves? And why do they call them settlements? They're not coming in by wagon train, you know. My parents live in a two-bedroom settlement in Florida, right, with a pool tennis court
Shut up,
and HBO.
Smith, shut up. Smith, shut up and help me. Hold this wrench tight. I'm going to loosen the bolt.
Why?
The contamination isn't wearing off by itself. You're not getting any better.
So
I can't stand it anymore. Now, this pipe leads in the opposite direction from the one that contaminated you. If we can expose you to this information, it might neutralize the information you got in the accident.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, here goes.
Our most effective strategy will be guided by that principle.
I didn't feel anything.
The information bounced right off of you, but how? Why? I mean, wait, of course, that's it. But you were contaminated 3 days ago. We're closer to the source by 3 days.
Closer to the source? What difference does that make?
We're closer to the free flow of information. The legend must be true. A place where information flows freely without pipes or couplings, without maintenance crews or spokespersons, without Sunday morning panel shows or those computer clip art pamphlets they hand out at protest marches.
What are you talking about?
Don't you see? The information we get from this pipe, closer to the source, is more inclusive, less likely of contamination.
That's good, isn't it?
Yes. No. Not for our purposes. You see, you've been contaminated by extreme, irrationally constructed bits of rhetoric. All the thoughtful, carefully reasoned information in the world wouldn't cure you.
Yeah, well, you're a fag.
You see, we've got to go back.
Back? That's 3 days back and another 3 days back here. That's 6 days lost.
Don't you see? It's your only hope. Until you're exposed to information extreme enough to neutralize the contaminant, you'll continue to believe and express these ridiculous notions.
Did the United Nations put you up to this?
Let's go. There's no time to waste.
Nah, I'm not going. I've had enough of this expedition anyway. I'm following the next pipeline east. Goodbye, Winston.
Smith! No! Smith! Smith!
Goodbye, Winston.
Smith! Having conquered the treacherously slow footing of the massive tangled information maze for nearly a week, my partner Smith and I made good progress until Smith was accidentally exposed to a sudden burst of contamination from a ruptured pipeline. No longer capable of rational thought, Smith bolted off the main trail to follow a whim. Day 15. I have no choice. As much as I want to continue my search for the legendary free flow of information, I know I must go after Smith, putting the entire mission at risk. Smith!
Hello?
Smith!
Hello? Am I on the air? Hello? Am I on the air?
Excuse me.
Am I on?
Are you on what?
Hey, you're not the host. I already talked to a producer. What the hell is this?
I'm looking for my friend. I was just wondering if you've seen him.
Look, I haven't seen anybody in years.
Excuse me, but what's wrong with your voice?
Hello? What? What are you talking about?
What's wrong
Look,
with...
buddy, I don't know what your problem is, but whatever it is, I'm not interested. You know, I've paid my dues, I worked hard to get where I am, and you're just gonna have to get off your lazy butt and do the same.
Look,
Where am I?
Where am I?
AM Talk Radioville. AM Talk Radioville? Well, actually, we're just a tiny village on the outskirts of AM Talk Radioville. This is AM Talk Radio Caller Junction. AM Talk Radio Caller Junction. You must be a first-time caller. Get in line, pal. Look, this is the only leg of the information pipeline into your area. My friend must have been
Well, of course there's only one pipeline in. What are you, a multiculturalist or something?
I'm just trying to find my friend. We're searching for the free flow of information.
Well, congratulations, because here we are.
Where?
The ultimate free flow of information. AM Talk Radio.
The man paused with pride at this statement, and for the first time I noticed his very odd features. He had a large cavernous mouth, sloping forehead, small squinting eyes. One ear was covered by the earpiece of a phone, which itself was covered by the man's own skin. The other ear had shrunken away, I suppose for lack of use. With all due respect, sir, I don't believe this is the free flow of information. I mean, there's only this one tiny line that feeds into your area.
Well, it's the only one that matters.
I've seen a great deal more on my journey. You could see it yourself. It's right over there on the horizon.
Look, the rest ain't information, son. It's just a lot of liberal lies, propaganda, and smut.
If you just turn around...
Look, I don't have to look. We got no interest in that kind of garbage here in AM Talk Radioville.
Still, I can't help but think...
Look, if you're impressed with size and numbers, you just keep going. We've only got this itty-bitty pipeline coming in, but just down the way we got 1 million lines going out, some as big as houses. And come to think of it, that's where your friend must be, you know? You better hurry if you want to catch him. You'll never find him once he gets in the middle of all that.
Day 16. At least I think it's day 16. The sun never sets on the information pipeline. I followed the narrow and rusted information line, along the way passing a handful of AM Talk Radio callers, all with the same large mouths, sloped foreheads, and mutated ears. The tiny rigid pipe fed into a brown, open rectangular vat about the size of a small tool shed, which stood on the side of a large hill. The stagnant, foul-smelling mix of information, opinion, and prejudice boiled in the heat of the constant sun until it bubbled over. The runoff spilled down the muddy hill into a makeshift dam, which dispersed the concoction into 1,000 underground tunnels, each one sucking the soiled and odorous slime into its canal, sending the sludge and vapors onto its destination. That's when I saw him. Smith.
Day 17. The painful sight of my friend being sucked into AM Talk Radio was almost more than I could bear. I have no realistic hope of finding Smith now, so I continue the journey. It was impossible to retrace my steps back to the main pipeline, since going against the flow is forbidden in AM Talk Radioville. Traveling north by northwest, I estimate I will meet up with the main information line in approximately 3 days.
Winston? Winston, is that you, Winston? Oh, I can't believe it. What the heck are you doing here?
Excuse me, do I know you?
Not likely. You never been here before, have you?
No.
Well, then how could you know me?
But you seem to know me.
Well, of course I know you, Winston. How are you? Listen, you better watch those medical bills. Get them paid off, or you're going to be right back in hot soup, by golly. My goodness, Winston, with you and your bills, you need to make a little more money. You should have got that degree in something useful. Humanities are dead, don't you know that?
Hey, how did you know about my medical bills? And my bankruptcy?
And you're married now, sure. 2 kids? Oh my, that's just wonderful. Didn't bring them along on your trip though, huh? Oh, that's too bad, dear. The oldest one, she's in 2nd grade now, eh? Oh yeah, 2nd grade. Oh, that's a wonderful time, sure. That's when they take their first standardized test, you know. Sure, the Iowa test. She didn't do that well in math, Winston. Maybe you should work with her a little more on that math there. Of course, you know, you didn't do so well yourself on the Iowa test in math, as I recall. But, you know, in this day and age, math is mighty important there, you know, the math.
Excuse me, who are you?
Rewapsi Neudemrofny, at your service.
Where am I?
You're kidding me. You don't know? Why, nobody just wanders into public information. You gotta really know your way around to get here.
Wait, where?
I just told you, for Christ's sake. Why, there's the sign on the gate, as plain as anything. Public information.
I turned from the stranger and looked up at a 12-foot concrete wall topped by rolls of barbed wire. Armed sentries were posted at intervals of no more than 30 feet. The sign on the iron gate read, Public Information.
Why, we got your property deeds, your database technologies, government reports, court transcripts, individual credit reports, overdue library books, ATM transactions.
Wait, ATM transactions? You're not supposed to have ATM transactions, are you? What are you laughing at?
Winston, you're a hoot. We can track every ATM withdrawal, credit card purchase, and location and transaction for the last 15 years. By golly, sure. As a matter of fact, we were just talking about you. Sure, we haven't had any activity for the last 17 days or so. We were kind of worried.
Well, I'm on a journey in search of the legendary free flow of information. My partner and I were heading due north until we got separated. I'm trying to get back to the main pipeline.
Well, whatever floats your boat, Winston. We don't judge people here.
But this structure, it's huge. How do I get around it?
Well, you don't. You'll have to go through.
Okay. What the hell was that?
Oh, Winston, you slay me. You can't just open the door and walk in. We got George Wills College transcripts in there for crying out loud. Here, I'll help you. Okay.
Last name.
Noitamrofny. Noitamrofni. Noitamrofny.
First name.
Rewop. REWOP.
Middle initial.
CSI.
Please dance while information is being verified.
Dance?
Oh, come on, Winston.
I'm not gonna dance.
Everybody wants something for nothing. Hey, we got financial statements from every corporation in the world in there. We got parking tickets of United Nations ambassadors. We got LBJ tapes, Nixon tapes. Come on, dance.
This is ridiculous.
Come on, Winston. You want to get in, don't you? There you go. Oh, you're doing fine.
I feel like an idiot.
Everybody does it first, but it's worth it. We got your declassified documents from the CIA, the KGB, the FBI, environmental impact statements, congressional subcommittee reports.
Yeah, look, couldn't I just get on the internet for all of this? No, now what?
Oh, Winston, you're a scream. The internet. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I haven't laughed so hard since you told that judge you couldn't be on a jury because you thought the judicial system was rigged in favor of people with money.
Well, it's true, isn't it?
Well, of course it is, but I never heard anybody get out of jury duty because of it. Oh, Winston. Oh, I'm glad you stopped by.
Identification verified. Dance accepted. Proceed to hoops.
This is it? I don't see anything. Where's all the information?
Why, it's all around you, Winston. Uh-oh. There's your first hoop. Jump through.
This is stupid.
Maybe, but there's no way around it. There's another one.
It's too high.
You think that's high? We just got started.
How come you don't have to jump through all these hoops?
Oh, when you've been around as long as I have, you get a break. Oh, that's a nice technique you got there, Winston.
What happened?
Well, you made it. Congratulations. That's a load of information you got there, Winston. What are you going to do with it all?
Do with it?
Well, you're going to use it, aren't you? Information isn't worth a nickel if you don't use it, Winston.
Well, I hadn't really planned on... that is, I just want to continue my journey.
Well, I'd say that's putting it to pretty good use. Good luck, Winston.
Oh, thanks for your help. Listen, when I get to the free flow of information, I'll let you know.
Oh, believe me, I'll know, Winston. I'll know it. You'll let me know. Oh, that's a good one, all right.
Day 23. As public information fades into one horizon, the main information pipeline becomes visible on the other. It's difficult to judge because of my distance, but it now appears to be 5 or 6 stories high. Still no sign of the legendary free flow, but my path is clear and my mood is light. I've come across several quick-strike maintenance teams as they adjust and repair the large information filters and transport stations that dot the landscape. Other than that, everything's...
Stop! Who dares to cross?
I'm sorry, you just startled me. Where did you come from?
We've been here for centuries. You are the intruder. Now identify yourself.
Winston.
Why are you in this place?
I'm in search of the free flow of information.
The free flow of information has never been accessed by mere mortals.
Well, who are you?
We are known as PR.
Public relations?
No, you little dirtbag! We eat public relations with our finger like hose crumbs at the bottom of the chalice.
Then what does PR stand for?
We are the two-headed beast of politics and religion. We consume, masticate, and digest all information before it is released to the masses of the world.
Are you a man or an animal or a machine or a spirit or what?
You ask too many questions! Now go back where you came from!
So, what, you telling me I can't get past you?
That's right, Pipsqueak!
But I need to see what's on the other side. What's behind you?
There is nothing behind politics and religion. We are the final destination. We are the original source of all you need to know.
Look, if you're the original source, then where do you get your information?
From on high! Lobbyists? You can't tell them that. We gotta get our stories straight.
On high? I can't tell him that. I'm supposed to reflect the will of the people.
And you think he's gonna buy lobbyists as an answer?
Lobbyist's primary responsibility is to provide information to public
Hey,
servants.
it's me you're talking to. I know that's a lot of crap, and so do you.
The mortal is listening.
Oh, he's already been through public information. He knows what's going on.
Well, what about you? From on high?
Sure.
From on high? Who are you, Charlton Heston? From on
hey,
high?
I've been carrying you for 1,000 years. Who are you to talk to me like
Who
this?
am I? Who gives you all your tax breaks, huh? Do you have any idea how much you owe me?
I owe you.
That's right, pal.
Oh,
This is a give and take.
rich.
To tell you the truth,
A give
I'd
and
say you've
take.
been
What are
taking
you,
and
some
I've been
kind of
giving long enough.
Hegelian all of a sudden? I can play your game
What's
too,
that
you
supposed
know.
to mean? Oh, you
and
can.
better.
You can play my
Oh,
game.
yes.
Sure you can.
Where'd he go?
He's running from us.
Stop you!
Oh, a giant tube appeared from nowhere, striking me full front and lifting me up off the ground. Instantly, I was 40 feet high, clinging to the armored, bucking coil. I could feel the internal pressure of the information it contained. The vibration shook every tissue of my body.
He's got us by the tail.
Pull him in!
I can't reach him.
The monster had chinks in his armor, invisible from a distance, but large enough for me to get a strong foothold.
You've gone too far!
So there's nothing behind you, huh? I notice your tail is connected to something, boys.
Don't go there!
So this is where you get your information. You take it all and give us the scraps and the bile, is that it?
Winston, you don't know what you're saying!
I think I do. Where does this lead? To the free flow?
No, Winston, you've got to believe us!
Still clinging to the suspended information line, facing the free flow with my back to politics and religion, I saw the tail take on a giant wave. Able to sustain the wave, I looked back as the tail of the beast cracked like a whip, pulled politics and religion up off its feet, over its heels, and pile-drived its two heads unmercifully into the ground. Whoever or whatever was wagging that tail, I'd soon find out. A second wave approached. I braced, but this one sent me flying high into the air, on a straight trajectory to the source of that enormous power.
Winston, so glad you could drop in. That was some ride you just took. About 500 feet, I'll bet, not to mention the drop down here into the pit.
Like the ride you gave to politics and religion?
Oh, that, yes. Well, once in a while you've got to remind those boys who's wagging the tail, if you know what I mean. Hi, I'm Karen, your customer representative. Is there anything in particular you're looking for today?
No,
Well, make yourself at home. Feel free to look around. Let me know if I can answer any questions.
Where am I?
Why, this is the money pit.
Why did you bring me here?
Oh, we didn't bring you here, Winston.
But the information line that threw me.
Just a little marketing tool, Winston.
Hey, and how do you know my name?
Research, Winston. Market research. Here, let me show you something.
With a snap of customer representative Karen's fingers, we descended deeper into the pit, to an information processing station must have been the size of 10 airplane hangars.
This is the direct marketing department of our Information Commodification Division. Winston, What does it say there on that pipeline next to you?
It's my name.
That's right. We gather information on virtually everyone in the civilized world. Name, age, current address, buying habits, personal preferences in clothing, food, household
Hey, could you help me
goods.
find Smith?
Your partner?
Yeah, we were separated early on our journey.
Yes, I know all about it. As a matter of fact, we have him on several lists. It would be quite simple to track his current whereabouts, but we can't release that kind of information to just anyone.
Well, who can you release it to?
Telemarketers, direct mail, fax, email distribution, pyramid schemes. They pay good money for names like this. I see your friend uses roll-on. I would have pegged him as a dry stick man.
So this is what you do in the money pit? Gather and sell information about me and my friends?
Oh, Winston, of course not. We gather and sell information about, well, just about everything. Information commodification is a vital process, but, believe it or not, still just a fraction of what we do here in the money pit.
Again, we descended deeper into the pit. Massive, glistening towers dominated the area. Though they were the size of skyscrapers, their peaks still fell short of the Earth's surface far above. The towers were connected at several points by a series of brightly painted cables, bridges, and pipelines, each adorned with its own corporate logo or insignia. The foul liquid covering the floor of the pit fed several islands of fire.
Sit in the middle, Winston. We don't want to rock the boat now, do we? Thanks so much. This is the real heart of the operation. It is our great honor and responsibility here in the Money Pit to filter, collate, and spin all the information in the world before it is passed on to the various outlets who distribute it to the general public.
Various outlets? You mean like politics and religion?
Those are two of our primary transfer stations, yes.
So every bit of information I've received in my whole life has been filtered to serve the interest of money?
Well, there are always a few leaks, but we do what we can. Information left untreated can be quite volatile, after all. Money provides a valuable service.
The free flow of information is a natural resource. You haven't got the right to exploit it.
A natural resource. So are trees, Winston. Let's say you make your own paper.
So there really is a free flow of information. The legend is true?
Yes, it's true. But you won't ever see it, Winston.
Hey, Karen, your horns are showing. You're no ordinary customer rep, are you, Karen?
You're smart, Winston. In fact, that's your trouble.
See you, Karen.
Go ahead, Winston. You can't escape the money pit.
The heavy swirling liquid sucked me in as I tried to swim to the nearest structure. Once, then twice, I was overtaken by the teeming slush, but managed to come up for air. On my third ascent, I was able to grab hold of a cable that had broken free from its coupling on the nearby tower. With my last bit of strength, I pulled up and out as fire overtook the spot beneath me, burning the tips of my shoes.
You've got will and determination, Winston. I may have a position for you as a sales associate. Care to join the team?
I'm climbing out of here, Karen.
That's 112 stories, Winston. You'll never make it!
Just then I felt the cable begin to move. A quick strike maintenance team was retrieving the broken cable from the surface high above.
Stop, you fools! You're helping him escape! That's what I get for jobbing out maintenance and repair. You'll be back, Winston! You'll be back! You'll never cross the vast wasteland!
The Information Age, Part 1. For radio listeners, tune in next week for the conclusion. For podcast listeners, that'll be next up in your feed.